Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This is Crypto Elite. In today's video, I have a set of 3 news stories for you. The first one has to do with BONK Inu. This is the token that I talked about yesterday on Solana that went absolute bonkers. It is now coming back down to reality, so we'll talk about that one. The next one is going to be about the Fed. They are creating some technology, blockchain technology for the digital dollar, which is pretty interesting. And the last thing we have to talk about has to do with DCG. Genesis Global might be going under. They have some leading activity that makes me kind of wonder what's going on behind the scenes. So we will talk about that. But before we get there, let's talk about a portfolio update. Once again, as you can see in the past 24 hours, I am up. Last time I made a video, I was just under $10,300. So the overall crypto market with the cryptos that I do currently have, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and I am looking to add another one very soon. Once again, these are all cryptos that I plan to hold for a very long time. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano is a medium-term hold. I probably will hold on to it until the next bull run, and then I'll reevaluate there. But Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be holds for the long run. So that is a portfolio update. Let's get into those 3 stories. Like I said, the first one has to do with BONK Inu. This coin went absolute bonkers, and it just skyrocketed, which is very, very rare to see, and that kind of puts some yellow flags up, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But let's dig into this article. It talks about Solana's dog theme BONK drops 54% after Bonker's 3,300% gain, so it made a humongous percent, and now it lost a bunch of that. And as you can see here, it's falling by half today after ascending to an all-time high price overnight. And just to reiterate real quick, BONK is part of the Solana ecosystem, and it's just a knockoff of the Dogecoin, Shiba Inu coins, and it did a really good job of just skyrocketing to the moon real quick. And as we can see in the price here in a second, it is kind of rebounding, so we'll see exactly where it goes. But let's check it out. Here's the 1 day. I'll zoom out a little bit so we get a better picture of what's going on. The all-time high was around, let's just say point a lot of zeros and then 50. And now it's at point a lot of zeros 25. So quick math just shows that it has dropped about 50% of the value. And like I said, this brings up a lot of yellow/red flags in the back of my head. One of those being that if people are still willing to go all in on these meme coins, maybe we have not hit our floor yet for the rock bottom prices of where the cryptocurrency is going to fall to. So this is a Bitcoin overall price. So maybe there's a little bit more legs down that Bitcoin can go if people are still willing to go in on these coins. Another thing that I have kind of thought about, maybe this might be more exit liquidity for Solana. A lot of people are still kind to look to pull their money out of Solana, and it's not as easy. So if you have something that just ignites a lot of passion and just pumps the price up, which it has done for the overall chain of Solana, I think that's another something that could be happening in the background. Overall, if we check out DeFi Llama, it does look like for Solana, the overall in and out has been about neutral. So you can't really see it from these numbers, but there has been a lot of money going in for BONK coin. So there might be a lot of money being pulled out at the same time. That's another thing that's going on in the back of my head. The next thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the digital dollar that's coming out very, very soon. The cool thing about it is that it can handle a lot of transactions. Right now, 1.7 million transactions per second is what they're saying. And the main reason why they can do this is that it is 100% centralized code. So that's the one thing that a lot of these other cryptocurrencies, Ethereum, Bitcoin, they can't do this many transactions because it has some sort of decentralization in the protocol. Unlike this, where it's 100% centralized, that's why you can get these huge speeds of 1.7 million transactions per second. It's very, very high performance and resilient transaction processor for a CBDC that was developed using open source research software called Open CBDC. So it also can reach finality in under 2 seconds. So there's a lot of good things going as far as the tech goes for the blockchain behind the digital CBDCs. The overall digital CBDCs, a lot of pros, a lot of cons there, but I think the one thing that I want to reiterate here is blockchain technology, although it is a buzzword, at simplest form, it's very simple code. It's just one block that has a list of transactions, and then it's linked to another block that has another list of transactions. So I think a lot of us are kind of getting away from just the real underlying tech of what blockchain is. It's just a block of transactions. It's a ledger. And that's why there is the ability to have this many transactions in one block per second. So I did want to reiterate that a little bit. The last thing I want to talk about is Genesis real quick. Recently, they just came out with news that they are going to lay off 30% more of its staff. And that is not a good look if they're trying to cut costs or delay when they have to file for bankruptcy by letting people go. That just lets them stay afloat maybe 30, 60, 90 more days. So this is something that came out recently that also is giving me some yellow and red flags. And if you're unfamiliar, Genesis is part of the overall DCG or digital currency group, and it is part of the massive Genesis Grayscale CoinDesk. They have a lot of big companies, and if one of these is starting to go under, that could potentially affect all of the rest of them. And as we know, Grayscale has a lot of Bitcoin. So if DCG were to go under, the price of Bitcoin would definitely fall. And we could see that throughout the entire crypto market, very, very turbulent. However, I am taking this time to purchase cryptos every single day. And if you're interested in my journey, I do have a Patreon. I have 2 different portfolios out there, the one that I show every single day, as well as the other portfolio full of cryptos that I see that are going to 5 to 10x in the next bull cycle. So if you want to, you can follow along, link in the description below. If not, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will see you guys on the next one.